my buddies, it's Carmen, and this is my third crochet vlog. I am again recording this on my trusty tablet, so excuse the resolution, it's not great. But this time, I'm doing things differently again, you guys. I like to experiment with this vlog. The first time I crocheted while talking to you, which was fun, but also I feel like you were just like staring at the top of my head. The second time I recorded this and then I crocheted, and then I feel like it took away from the crochet part of the vlog, even though I did talk about the crochetness, but I also didn't start a new project that time. And this time what I did was I recorded me crocheting first. I started a new thing, so I recorded me crocheting first. I will show you what that is currently, but it will also be playing on the side here, or here, or here, or I don't know where it will be playing. But I will move to the side, and then it will play. But I will talk about it, I will watch it and talk about it at the same time, and that way maybe this will be better, more conducive to the crochetness of the vlog. I don't know, you guys. I hope you like this. This is always an experiment. You guys, I've had Sully with me this whole time. I took Sully down from over there. I needed consoling because a terrible person has just become president. So I cried into Sully for about 2 days. He's been a great consoling buddy. See, he's all like, "Durr, you're right." But let me just update you on my crochetness. I actually just finished this yesterday. This was the blanket that I did. I actually just finished this yesterday, like I said. This is the finishing row. As you can see, I'm not actually done yet. I want to do one more side, at least until here. So I want to do one more side. I don't have any more yarn, like leftover yarn though, so I might, go through yarn that we haven't opened yet. Which the point of the scrap can was to be a scrap afghan, to use my scraps. But that, I decided I want it to look good versus plus I want to do like a white border since I have so much leftover white yarn. But I will think about it. I'll see how tired my crocheting bits are before I decide. So if you guys don't know, and this is the first video you've seen, you should watch my Snapshot Saturday videos. The last Saturday should have been me on my way to Ireland with my mom, and then yesterday's video should have been me in Ireland, and then next week's Sunday video will be a travel vlog if I can edit it in time. But it should go through all 10 days that I was there. But today I'm doing this crochet video because my friend Joanna actually went to Ireland twice and she gave me this yarn. So this is Irish wool yarn. She gave me 3 balls on the first trip there, and then 3 balls on this last trip there, and I'm not planning on bringing any more balls home. But this is supposedly, she told me this is handmade 100% wool yarn, which I think is great. It looks about, that's one piece, it looks about a weight of 2 or 3. It's probably between 2 and 3, but this by itself is probably a 2. So together it's probably a 3. And if I do 2 3s together, that's a 4. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the weight of the yarn. So like how thick the yarn is. Because it's bound together with these 2 strips, I just decided to use these 2 strips as one, even though this one by itself, like this, is one. It would make the thing that I made a lot daintier looking, but I don't want to go through the trouble of separating every strand. That would take a long time. I was going to say years, but that's too high of a number. It would take hours, and I'm not that patient. And plus, like, when you separate them, it works, of course, but you also, like, the yarn isn't the same if you separate it. It has a different strength. This yarn is already a bit weaker than the yarn that I used for my blanket. So if I pull on it too hard, it will break. That's just how yarn is. Let me show you what I've made so far. So this is a shawl, the beginning of a shawl. You'll see me starting the shawl soon. But this is the shawl. I made shawls for all my friends 2 Christmases ago, but I didn't actually make myself one because I don't like making things for myself. I guess I'm just weird like that. Last year I made a blanket for Taylor, and then I also made a blanket for myself, and this is the second blanket for myself, but both blankets are currently sitting back there, and I thought, like, hey, if I wanted to use something, I might as well use a shawl because I love shawls. I also made a giant wraplet for myself. I actually made a cowl for myself too, but I really like shawls. I think shawls are cute, and I think they're adorable. So I think this will be nice. This is the hook that I'm using. It is a F hook, and this is from Boyle. Like I said, I don't really like Boyle because when I crochet and I like hold my thumb here and I rub, the imprint, it's the embossing or whatever, it has an embossing effect and it rubs against my thumb wrong. I don't know. If you see my first crochet vlog, I tried to explain this, but basically it hurts my thumb if I use it too much. But I've been holding it up here, which is like ergonomically wrong, but it helps my thumb better. I wanted to do this project at this time because of the Irish connection, and also it's just shawl time. It's like almost shawl time. It's been getting cold lately, so I think having a shawl to wear would be nice. I just like shawls. But let me watch the video and I'll talk about what I'm doing and also other things. Alright, so this time I'm recording my crochet differently. I'm actually sitting on my bed with the tripod over me while I'm recording this because this way it helped me concentrate on me crocheting rather than me looking through the camera and then looking through the crochet. And I also recorded this with my phone, so hopefully it's better. Alright, today's topic for the vlog is actually going to be traveling. So if you don't know already, I actually have a podcast with my good friend Somia. Hi Somia! She and I do a podcast and every week it's a different topic. We've actually talked about travel twice. So if you want to listen to those, I will link them in the description box. But also, but if you listen to those, this might be repeat information, so I apologize. So I'll just be going through talking about me traveling as well as the crochet, which I'm watching here. So basically this crochet starts off kind of like how I do my amigurumis. Amigurumis, if you don't know, are like stuffed animals made of crochet or knitting. Crochet. This type of crochet is actually really easy. You just crochet all in a circle and it's not that hard. Going back to traveling, I actually, the first time I went out of the country, I went to Europe with my class, kind of. So at the end of my senior year, I actually went on a trip to Europe with my school. So there's this type of tour called EF tours. I can't remember what the EF stands for. I believe the first part of the E. I believe it stands for education something tours. But basically our school, you just pay a certain amount and you got to go on this trip. And I think you had to be over 16 because you were allowed to drink and the drinking age in Europe was 16. So I actually went when I was 18. So you guys, I drank wine. First place we went to was England. That was really cool. I really enjoyed England. Basically what the EF tours do, just like this tour that I am on currently, or that I am coming back from currently, you basically go around in a bus and there's a tour guide that takes you to different places. When we were in England, we went to the London Eye. We went to, I believe we had the choice of going to the art museum, which I didn't get to go to because you had to pay extra for that if you wanted to go. We were also given a free nights, or like nights there. We had some amazing Greek food. It was the first time I've ever had Greek food and it was the best. I basically fell in love with lamb after that. It was also the first time that I had experienced living statues, so that was really cool, I guess, if you think that's cool. going back to the crochet project for a second, it was a little bit hard to get started. Basically, you had to crochet, you had to have at least 20 double crochets, including the 3 chain that you had at the beginning. It was hard to keep track of all 20, and that's the only reason why it was particularly hard to do. Also, keeping track of where each crochet stitch ended was hard, which I will get to later. So going back to the travels, on that Europe trip, we also went to Paris. I believe we went to Germany, we went to Switzerland, and we went to Italy, and some other places. We went to Geneva. We went to 6 countries in total, and we were there for 3 weeks. The second time I went out of the country was actually with my family. My mom was going on a business trip to China, and she decided to bring me and my brother. We went with her for a tour before she went on her business trip. So we went on a tour of like Beijing and like northern China and like Xi'an and like basically that part of China. We went to the Forbidden City and stuff like that. And then after that trip was about a week in like. It was centered in Beijing. So after that week or so, we went to Shanghai, where my mom hooked us up with more of her friends, and they took us around on a tour too. We actually didn't spend that long in Shanghai either, but it was enough to see the city. Shanghai was actually very beautiful, and it reminded me of New York a lot. It's also right by the sea, so it was really nice to see the ocean. Then after Shanghai, my mom's business trip took us to Suzhou, which is kind of near Shanghai. Suzhou was where she had to be for work. So actually, my brother and I spent most of our time in and around the hotel. This was after my first year of college, so I was desperate to talk to my friends again. So I actually spent a lot of my time on the internet, but we also walked around a lot. There was actually a park right behind the hotel we were staying at, so we spent a lot of time there. And the thing that I really like to talk about from my time in Suzhou was there was a KFC near our hotel, and the KFC was very different than the American KFCs. They had very different things. They had, like, the chicken tasted totally different. We really liked that place, and we really liked eating at, there's like a fast food pot sticker place that was really good. The only troubling thing was my brother and I, we didn't speak very much Cantonese, and we spoke even less Mandarin, even though I was taking a Chinese course. So that was the only reason why that was particularly hard, because there aren't a lot of English speakers in Suzhou. It's not a very touristy town. But that was the only reason why it would be difficult to stay. Alright, so now we've come to the part in the crochet where it gets a little harder. Basically what you had to do was make these loops. I'll show you on the scarf itself. So I'm in the middle of making the loops now. So basically you had to make these 3 small loops, and then these large loops. In this first part, you're making 1 big loop, 3 small loops, 2 big loops in the middle, 3 small loops again, and then another big loop on the end. Like I said, I'm in the middle of this row, so that's why I'm not there yet. The reason that was hard was because it's kind of hard to distinguish where you're, like, after. You make more double crochets in here, and oh, a fun fact, I actually restarted this like 5 times. It's actually really hard if you've been following my Snapshot Saturdays, you know that a couple weeks ago I was actually crocheting and browsing through patterns. I actually started a shawl about 3 times before saying okay to this one. There was a shawl that I wanted to start that's called like the Butterfly Shawl, which I thought was very beautiful, but it left too many big holes. So you can see this one is mostly opaque except for the holes here. Look, but it looks like a skeleton. It kind of looks like Jack Skellington that way, and then this way looks like he's sad. He's like this way. It kind of looks like Darth Vader. Jack Skellington, Darth Vader. But it was actually really hard for me to pick a pattern. So once I finally settled on this one, and this actually didn't take that long. This probably took a couple hours to do. But me doing the patterns, me doing the other patterns, me restarting, me looking for patterns, that actually took about 8 hours. I was pretty exhausted by the time that I finished this much. My little finger, the way I crochet, if you can see in the video below, the way I crochet is I basically have this finger out and I control the yarn. I control the yarn by doing that, and it just hurts. Like, I don't know if you've had like very much problem with it, but it's the same with this finger. At work I click a lot, so if I click too much, this hurts. So I need to find a way where it doesn't hurt. I do have compression gloves, but I don't know where I put them, so I'll have to look out for those. But yeah, when you put the double crochets into these, it's hard to distinguish where the double crochets end and where these stitches end. It's just difficult, but I do really like this pattern once you get used to it. It's pretty easy to remember. Going back to my travels, the third time that I actually left the country, I went to China again. This time it was with my cousins and my aunt and uncle. We actually went back to Beijing. We had another tour in and around Beijing. And then we also went to my aunt's godparents' apartment in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is amazing. I would definitely suggest everyone go there if you get the chance. I like that it's fairly westernized. Basically, to be blunt, the bathrooms are a tad difficult in China. They're all basically holes in the floor, and it's hard to do that if you're used to sitting on a Western toilet. I'm just like, that's the only way I can, like... That's the main reason why I would prefer Hong Kong over most of China. But China itself is pretty great. If you haven't, it's very beautiful there. But I really did love Hong Kong. While we were there, coincidentally, right around just down the street from my aunt's godparents' apartment was actually a giant Harry Potter installment. I don't remember what was going on. I think it was it wasn't even Harry Potter World, because this was 4 or 5 years ago. It was literally an installment outside or inside a mall. So there was a giant Hogwarts Express train, and then there was a little I would say it was made of cardboard of Diagon Alley, and you couldn't go into any of the shops. You basically took pictures, and if I can find any of the pictures, I will put them in this video, but I doubt that I can, because I don't think I took any pictures, and if they were, I think they were all real pictures and not digital pictures. You guys, this just happened. But yeah, Hong Kong was really great. The only thing that I hated was we went at the end of August, and it was so friggin' humid. It was hot as heck. It was there was no breeze. I assumed because Hong Kong was an island, it would be cooler because we were right by the sea, but I guess because it is an island, we don't have any inland possibilities for the wind to come down, so we just got all the heat, man. We were friggin' melting outside. I would definitely recommend going in the winter if you can. I would definitely take rain over that terribleness. Also in that trip, my family is from Guangzhou, so we went back to our home, my mom's hometown. My mom didn't actually come with us, but my aunt showed us around. We stayed in my aunt's apartment there. It was a super fun trip. I definitely recommend everyone going. The only reason I got to go is because the whole trip, including the flight, was $1,200, and if you don't know, a flight to China is about $1,200. So flight, hotels, and all that stuff in Beijing while we were on that tour there, that was all $1,200, and then our flight back was also covered. So basically, we went there for free. I will say some of the hotels that we stayed in, I wouldn't say they were exactly 5 stars. Some of them were half finished, but they were all working. I mean, we weren't actually staying there for very long, so it's not very much of a complaint. But like I said, everything in China is super great, and if you can stand the public toilets being in the ground, I definitely suggest you going there. Alright, going back to the crochet, if you can see here, I'm actually putting clips down into the stitches. This is so that I finally figured out that I couldn't tell the difference between where a double crochet was and where one of those chains were, so I actually just put these stitches to let me know where. If you counted right, there was one time instead of putting 10 like I was supposed to, I actually put 11, and I had to cover up. Actually, it's still in here. I had to cover up by skipping a stitch right here, so now it looks like Darth Vader has an extra big nose, but you can't really tell if I turn it upside down. See? And like I said, this is a shawl, so it'll most likely be scrunched up anyway. I don't really care about mistakes. It adds like a little bit of character, like especially if I hold this upside down, and I definitely think this pattern makes these middle arches look like characters. Like, I feel like this definitely looks like Darth Vader, or a skull, I guess. And this way definitely looks like Jack Skellington, or again, a skull, I guess. But I think it's cute, and I don't really care. I like the imperfections. They make me happy. Alright, and now I'm finishing up the video. I actually crocheted, the video will show crochet up to about here, this row, but I actually crocheted more of this while I was editing and doing other things. Once I start a project, I kind of do it until I'm tired of it, and I'm actually not tired of this yet, which is good. I think this is a fairly easy pattern. I only really had to memorize the 3 different rows, and the 3 different rows are not that difficult. So I'm happy with this. I'll let you know what it looks like when it's done. I hope to have this done by the time I am in Ireland. So hopefully pictures of me in Ireland will have this shawl in them. Scrunched up maybe like a scarf. Again, thank you for the wool, Joanna. It is great. It's super soft and super warm, and I really like the color. I'm so happy that I hope I will be done with this by Ireland, and I know it will look great because the yarn is great and I'm an excellent crocheter. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what type of crochet vlog you like. If you like the first one where I'm crocheting in the video, or if you like the second one where I talk about it and don't really reference the crochet video at all, or if you like this one where I do reference the crochet video at moments and I interrupt me talking about my travels. This will be the 4th time that I'm out of the country, so I'm very excited about that. I hope you enjoy my crochet vlog too. I'm really excited about going. I haven't gone to Ireland yet, so this is very, very exciting. I can't wait to try all the food. The best part about traveling is all the food, you guys. Thanks for watching my video, guys. Bye!